Front Range League Baseball from Colorado Springs at Blocktickets Park. NoCo Prospectors at El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Sean Eierman, starting pitcher, delivers strike one on pitch one of today's doubleheader. Game one sees Dax Vila bat for the Prospectors, top of the order. Louis De La Cueva catching starting pitcher Sean Eierman, and a single slapped right back through the middle. Lined over first base, or over second base, and onto first base goes Dax Vila. Base hit opens the game for NoCo Prospectors. Prospectors have been on a nice, healthy game break. Haven't played in a good chunk of days. They get a single to get them back into game flow. And Alex Clapp will bat. Ball one up to Clapp. Vila's playing center field defensively. He singled. Alex Clapp, the shortstop. Left-handed batter in with a 1-0 count. Throw over to Vila, diving back at first safely. Sean Eierman, starting pitcher. Seen him a handful of times this season. Good to see Sean back up on the hill. Game one of two 7-inning ball games. Wind blowing in right now. Flags are pushing right back toward home plate from the left field flag poles. Eierman's pitch again in. He's in a couple times on Clapp. Alex has a 3-0 count, in command of this count. Man, ball four. It's a single and a walk, and the Prospectors have set up their lemonade stand in the first inning in business. Catcher Gladish bats number 3. The left fielder Gladish, behind him on deck Dalton Berg, the right fielder. I'm Thad Anderson. Front Range Baseball Network is the spot for all Front Range League games. 2 from here tonight, and 1 other on the network tonight from Gering, Nebraska. Got a 1-1 count. Ball at the screen picked up by Will Toger. He's behind Berg, who's on deck. So it's Gladish, then Berg, then Toger. Runners take off. De La Cueva's throw is not in time to catch the double steal. Vila to third, Clapp to second. On July 17, Thursday, pleasant night in the Rocky Mountain region. Foxes and Pioneers will be up in Gering, Nebraska. 6:35 p.m. Mountain Time start. And this ball through the left side, base hit from Gladish. Both runners coming around, and the Prospectors have sent 3 to the plate. They've scored twice in the top of the first. 2-0, NoCo Prospectors, 2 RBIs. Single from catcher Gladish. Now Dalton Berg. Runner takes off first pitch and dives in safely. Goes Gladish. 3 stolen bases in the inning. The double steal. Vila and Clapp. And now the swipe from Gladish, the left fielder on defense. He's at second. Sean Eierman's got some trouble here in the first. Berg takes. Ironman's pitch. Got a strike on him now. Berg, we got a Miracles manager, John Byington. He asked for time, and it looked like he indicated that he wanted to do a wellness check, an arm check, which would not go as a visit charged if it's a health check on your pitcher. John Byington popped out and was signaling to his own right elbow as Sean Ironman. He saw something, did Coach Byington. And I think we might, Ironman's kind of working the hand. Yeah, they're going to bring the bullpen warm-up. Instead of the bullpen, they're going to bring it to the mound. And Sean Ironman gets 3.5 batters into the game, and he's going to come off. Ironman, something not right with his throwing arm. Coach Byington is gesturing to his elbow. Team trainer coming down. Ironman's walking off. He looks like his arm is bothering him a little bit. Trainer's down there. Ironman walking off and not in major distress of any sort, but let's get on that right away. Good work by Coach Byington. Get Sean off the hill. So an unplanned pitching change, and that means you get as long as you need to warm up. No bullpen warm-up, so this will be an extended warm-up on the hill for the Miracles as we're, our fourth batter of the top of the first. NoCo Prospectors have scored 2. Catcher Gladish had the 2-run single, stole second, so he's out behind the battery warming up. And this will be whatever you need on the bump. Still getting the first stretch it out tosses. Nick Marburger is the warm-up guy. And I had pregame conversations with both managers, Chris Nobenschuh for NoCo Prospectors and John Byington for the Miracles. Also caught a pregamer with catcher Louis De La Cueva. We're going to get Coach John Byington right now during the warm-up in the top of the first. With John Byington in the Miracles dugout pregame. Coach, thanks for a little bit of time. I know you and I were talking the other day, and I found it interesting. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe the last handful of years of your baseball path, your journey in baseball, can you walk us back through where you've been the last few years and where you are now?
Yes, sir. Glad to be here with that. Thank you. I finished up a long 24-year stint at McMurray University in Abilene, Texas. Was the head coach there for 14 years, but finished that in 22. And in 22, I got out of baseball for about a year. Started doing lessons, getting back into some youth ball there in Abilene, Texas, and then I coached last summer in the Great Lakes Collegiate League with the Xenia Scouts, and then got the job at Coronado High School here in this Colorado Springs this past fall. Did that in the spring, and then got this opportunity with the Miracles this summer.
I hear you had a little, maybe a little influence, a little pressure to get to Colorado in the family, right? A little, maybe some votes to get this way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, my wife and I both kind of in secondary careers. I've always been in baseball, but I was in one place for a long time, and she was at our church for a long time, and we both kind of. Now she's a nurse, but she loves the mountains, and she wanted to be up here. And I said, hey, I'm flexible enough with what I do to do it, so we did that.
So where'd you grow up?
Baytown, Texas, just outside of Houston.
Okay.
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
How's it going in Colorado? Has the move been a good move?
Yes, sir. It's been good. We enjoy it. I like the weather. I like the springs. It's I'm kind of a city boy, so it's a big enough city for me. But yeah, we have access to all the mountains and all the outdoor stuff too, which is my wife's thing. So we're enjoying it.
The Miracles are part of the El Paso County Baseball Organization. How did you get connected up with EPCB?
Yes, sir. I started doing lessons when I got the job at Coronado and did the high school. I had some time before our season started, so I started doing lessons with DBAT, and the DBAT family is part of the EPCB family. So they were very kind to give me this opportunity to coach this new collegiate team.
That's words with Miracles head coach, manager John Byington. Thanks to Coach for the time pregame in the first base dugout. He's up on the top step now watching Nick Marburger take over in an unplanned relief appearance in the first with Ironman's arm having something going on. They got Sean off the mound, and Dalton Berg gets a pitch that he fouls away on pitch one from Marburger. 2-2 count. So Nick Marburger charged into action, one of those games when you hope that he can microwave it up, and this sort of surprise appearance, maybe you just catch a guy who hops on and didn't have it in my head too much, so we'll just start firing away. De La Cueva pops out on a pitch that runs the count to full. Louis bouncing out to the right side batter's box, wide of the lefty. And the 3-2. Marburger lost the grip on that. It flies to the backstop. Berg rounding first. He'll hold there. It was a full count pitch, and it was way wild. Walk and a wild pitch. More of the John Byington conversation will come along as we work through the game. We'll finish his first here also tonight from Prospectors lead man Chris Nobbenshoe and current catcher for the Miracles, Louis De La Cueva. Assistant coach for the Prospectors, Jamie Thompson, is coaching third base. Player coach Rocco Casano over at first. Runner takes off on first and third. This ball to center field and will hang up. Good retreat. That'll be a sac fly ribby. Out in center field, Hunter Morgan was running toward the tall wall just to the left of the scoreboard, the big video board. That ball had some juice on it from Will Toger. I don't know if the wind wasn't doing what it's doing, if that ball might have gotten over that elevated wall, little cutout around the scoreboard. Wall goes lower and then comes back tall before the batter's eye. And Hunter Morgan, when he first took off for that, he looked like he thought he was going to the wall, and then it pushed back in front of the track. Toger's fly out is a sacrifice. Third run for the Prospectors. Runner takes off. Throw is airmailed over the top, and an extra bag there for Dalton Berg. Stolen base plus an E2 on the throw that gets away to center field. Catcher Gladish tagged and scored on Toger's RBI fly ball. Dom Lefevre, the right-handed batter, in with one out and a teammate at third base. 3-0 lead for NoCo Prospectors, fouled back to the netting. Oh, it's nice to be back at a park with the backstop net. No insult to the others, but Arvada were able to get the camera on the other side of the chain link, so you get the clear shot with no fence blocking the view or chopping the view. So that's nice, but looking through chain link there, and Boulder has the netting. Of course, they put the ginormous pole right in the middle behind home plate. It's okay. We'll deal with it, but come on, engineering. De La Cueva blocking wide of the strike zone. So both bullpens sit empty now after the 911 call to the bullpen. The emergency wasn't even a call to the bullpen. Nick Marburger was in the dugout watching the first inning, and when Coach Byington saw Sean Ironman with arm discomfort, 3.5 batters in, Marburger popped out of the dugout, headed to the bullpen. Then they just called him back from there and sent him to the hill to warm up. Swinging and a miss. Lefevre, a good pitch from Marburger. I do see Sean Ironman walking back into the dugout. Talked to Sean a little bit before the game. Trainer's still down there, and Sean just came back around from backstage. He's in the dugout. Doesn't, fortunately, visibly watching him walk around, he's not in distress, at least that he's showing. Check swing offer is strike one to Braden Thompson, first baseman. Thompson on the start today. Strike added to his tally. Now an 0-2 count. Now 1-2. Talking to Sean Ironman down the line before the game in the right field bullpen. Enjoyable conversation. I verified he was wearing number 6 today. He had 25 on the other day. This ball is spiked and brings home that run that was waiting at third. Dalton Berg on the wild pitch. And it's a 4-run frame for the Prospectors. I said, so you had 25 on the other day. You got 6 on again today, right? What's the story there? And he said, I forgot my shirt the other day. I thought maybe it was superstition or a tribute to somebody, but it was just, can I borrow one? 2 hopper back to the mound. Marburger presents it and then flips it to first baseman Austin Reese. Prospectors, after a gap in gameplay, getting back to action today, and the offense picks it up and gets it going. There were 2 hits in the inning, couple singles, Vila and Gladish, couple walks assisted and a sac fly, make it 4 runs on 2 hits. Bottom of the first of a 7-inning game 1 of a doubleheader. Hunter Morgan, Jackson Schlepper, and Austin Reese bat for the Miracles.
The blur of night, the whir of wheels, the interstate it reveals. Something I've searched for, something was missing. Point A wasn't for me, always searching for point B. But Longbridge Road means we're almost home. Longbridge Road means we're almost home. No matter where I go.
Starter for the Prospectors, Joshua Grenzenbach, has warmed up and is ready for pitch 1 of the bottom of the first. Center fielder Hunter Morgan. Jackson Schlepper bats second to shortstop. First baseman Austin Reese third. This ball is tailing toward the bullpen, over the bullpen, and just into the patio area. Bangs around the metal furniture. 1-1 count. El Paso County Baseball Miracles trailing 4-0, bottom of 1, first batter for them. They played 2 days ago on Tuesday, 2 days ago in Boulder as part of a back-to-back with the 64s, playing here on Monday and then in Boulder on Tuesday. So a day off yesterday. For the Prospectors, call it a week off. They last played on July 10, last Thursday, 1 week ago tonight. Extended gap for the Prospectors. And as is the case in summer collegiate leagues, Pitching gets taxed heavily with the flow of games, trying to get enough arms and enough rested arms. Prospectors in as good of shape as anybody as far as rest. Their pitching staff not as deep as some of the front-running teams with variety of arms, but you would hope that everybody took care of themselves in the last week, and Coach Chris Nobbenshoe has a lot of options. They've got a busy slate coming. Here's a ball toward the gap. Nicely barreled by Hunter Morgan. He's around first and into second in front of the throw from left fielder catcher Gladish. Hunter Morgan leads off with a solid double. Good-looking swing. Great angle from here where we're at, too. The path to the ball and then the travel, the flight of the ball. Little early game artistry from Hunter Morgan. Jackson Schlepper, the shortstop, is in. Joshua Grenzenbach, the righty, down for ball one. Kyler Adams catching Grenzenbach, who is 6'3" righty from Holy Family High School, hometown of Longmont, Colorado. Kyler Adams out of Erie, Colorado, so they're geographical mates. Longmont and Erie can smile and nod at each other from the map. Pitch buzzes the shoulders, the lettering of Schlepper's jersey. Austin Reese on deck, Maddox Stahl behind him, then Louis De La Cueva, Nicholas Brainerd, Mason Aaron, Jeremiah Lucero, and Bryson Martinez. 2-0 pitch. That's down in right. Schlepper lays the barrel out there, and Dalton Berg comes up, pumps a throw to the plate. Runner will hold at third. Corners for the Miracles. Austin Reese batting with traffic. Schlepper goes the other way with nice deep zone swing. Let that ball travel and drop the barrel down. Sent that to right. Up high, ball one. In the lineup for the Miracles tonight, notice the absence of Jansen Roberts. I didn't get my intel on why not Jansen tonight. Guessing he won't be here for game 2, but never know. We'll do a dugout check between games. A little birdie flies over the infield. Sparrow? Meadowlark? Not an airplane, I can tell you that. Strike makes it 2-1. Flag's now blowing right to left, but kind of whipping around now back toward the plate. A little bit of weather in the area. This ball bounces off the mound. That'll get through. Reese sends one up the middle, and with nobody out, 1 run in. Hunter Morgan, 2 aboard, and the cleanup batter, Maddox Stahl, heading to the plate. Miracles mounting an immediate answer to the 4-run frame from the Prospectors. Everybody around the field today, batting practice back around the 2 p.m. Mountain time frame, and game at 4 o'clock. Kind of just talking in hushed tones about the radar and the weather. Strike there. Looked like a breaking pitch from Grenzenbach. Off speed. Got the zone. And it's around the area for sure. Floating around just a little bit. A few sprinkles. 1 press box window open, ball inside. 1 window open. A few raindrops on the ledge, the sill. Other press box window closed. It's got a few teardrops on it. Sad window. 1-1 pitch, and that's fouled away right side. That one smacked off of the cinder blocks of one of the concession buildings, and that ball is probably oblong now. Evan Iacono for the Miracles was he was scouting up there. He was hunting baseballs. He was already up there. Got that one as it smacked off of the concession building back down into the grandstands. 1-2 count. Grenzenbach working on the first out of the bottom of the first. Righty sends it to the plate. Breaking ball is up above the zone. 2-2. Maddox Stahl. Good take. That pitch loops to the zone. It's out shallow left. Late call from shortstop makes the play with catcher Gladish coming a long way on that. Had to wait a while. Alex Clapp trying to make sure he could get to it, and at the last couple steps he called ball. Gladish slowed up, and they avoided each other. Clapp makes the catch. Deep pop-up to shortstop behind third base. That's in not even real shallow left field anymore. That was out to about knee-high depth if you're waiting. Not ankle, not waist. Runner takes off from second, and De La Cueva fouls it away. Maddox Stahl's pop out is the first out of the bottom of the first. Again, a doubleheader tonight, so it's 2 7-inning games. Part of me is expecting the lights to pop on at any time. It's 4:33 Mountain Time. A good 3+3-ish hours, or 3+ from the time lights usually come on, but the cloud cover is darkening it up. Not complaining. It's fine. Fairly young eyes out there. 0-2 count to De La Cueva, and he swings and misses in a back pick to 2. That ball rolls into center and is going to give up a base. Schlepper is holding up at third. Austin Reese at first did not go because that ball was still close to second base, where it would have been a fairly easy play on Reese. So now a first and third with 2 outs. De La Cueva strikes out. Nicholas Brainerd. Third baseman, batting number 6, Brainerd. Ball one wide. And the ball dropped with the foot on the pitching rubber, and that is an unfortunate fumble. Balk is the call. Jackson Schlepper, who moved up on the back pick. That was an error from behind the dish on the throw that got away. So he went to third on that, and now on a balk comes home. A balk. Balk. Decelerated swing from Brainerd. He got slowed down by that off-speed pitch, and his swing matched it. One of the keys to hitting off-speed is maintaining bat speed. That one, the pitch, and then the bat were moving in unison at a slower speed. Brainerd's got a 1-1 count. Reese at second base from the balk. 2-1 count. Middle of July, and it's a hoodie afternoon at the ballpark. Don't mind that. Reese takes off, had a good jump, and the pitch is fouled away on a 2-1. Austin Reese had the bag, but with 2 outs, you don't as much want your batter to take a strike to let him have that. He would have had third easily without the foul off. But from Brainerd's perspective, with 2 down, runner in scoring position, you're looking to hack if you like a pitch. 2-2 the count. 3 hits in the inning for the Miracles. This unlikely to be another. Here comes Gladish. Clapp going toward him. Twice those guys have conferences in the short area of left field. And this time it's Gladish with the catch. Miracles get half what the Prospectors got. 1 inning in the books, and it's 4-2. NoCo Prospectors with the 8-9-1 Lamb Adams Vila coming up for NoCo. Ball 1 opens top of 2. Brett Lamb, the designated hitter. I'm having to slow down and enunciate better. Designated hitter, as compared to the very crisp and clean designated hitter, as raindrops pick up. Oh, cool. I was just playing some percussion sounds on your ears. Then it sounded like somebody rattled sheet metal in a school play. Or was that thunder? Oh, wait, maybe it's not even that. I'll pull off one of my headset earmuffs. Yeah, I don't know if that was thunder or not. Might be one of the construction vehicles out on the road out there bouncing around. Rain's coming down pretty good, though, now. People who don't have umbrellas are wandering their way up and away. This ground ball to short. Lamb is out. Nice play at shortstop by Schlepper. Good running, pick on that ball, and then a quick exchange. Got rid of it quickly. That's the key. Get it out of your hand on the way over to first, and Schlepper does the job. Shortstop ground out. Brett Lamb is 1 away. Kyler Adams, the catcher, batting. One-0 pitch. It's 2-0. Didn't miss by much there. Nick Marburger wipes off his throwing hand after that pitch, trying to keep surfaces dry. 2-0 count. Chopped foul into the facing of the Prospectors dugout. A good little rain falling now. It looks like snow on your screen, kind of. It's not snowing, in case you're wondering. But it's drippy out here. Good pitch. Adams waved at that on a pitch that moved away from him, down and out. Let's all take a moment to appreciate the logos on the scoreboard in left center. Love the Miracles look. Crisp and colory. That is held on to by De La Cueva. Foul tip, and Adams is out. Strikeout on the foul tip back to catcher De La Cueva, and Nick Marburger has the first 2 out in the top of 2. Couple Miracles defenders barking out top. Dax Vila, top of the order. Prospectors flip the order, and that bending pitch barely missed Vila and barely missed the zone. Coach Chris Nobenshoe was talking about hoping to get a sharp performance here, maybe a one-pitcher game one where they can conserve some arms. And for the Miracles, in the first inning, they had to make a change, and hoping to get Nick Marburger riding along for a little while. Game 2 starter, from what I'm told, for the Miracles is Reese Featherston, who just moved to the Springs from Wisconsin. This ball lifted down the line, close, and just foul. The mysterious first base coach for the Prospectors. Last inning, it was Rocco Cassano. Now it's a hoodie with hood up, looking like an informant along a dark street somewhere. He was pointing fair. It was not. He was just goofing off. Blocking machine, Louis De La Cueva takes that. Just set himself right down on that bouncing pitch. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Leadoff guy Dax Vila, he'll chop it, just got a piece of that foul and stays alive. Alex Clapp on deck. And now toward the bullpen for the Miracles goes Logan Wilson. He walked past it. Nope. Now he's pulling up. I thought he was going to just wander all the way down in the corner and disappear into the night. Vila sends that back through the middle on a 3-2 pitch. Dax Vila has his second hit in 2 innings of play. Single and a single for the leadoff man for the Prospectors. Nick Marburger asked for time and asked for a different baseball. That one probably came back with some juice on it. Two out in the top of 2, throw over. You'd figure Vila likely to take off in the at-bat with 2 down, trying to get to scoring position. So Marburger has that in mind. An airplane went over, followed by looks like some kind of hawk. Got some various demonstrations of the miracle of flight. It's like an aeronautics museum around here. Laboratory. Clapp shortened up a little bit on potential bunt. Didn't go with it too long as he saw that pitch was way out of the zone. As this piece of beef jerky stares at me, just taunting me until I can have it between innings. Mean beef jerky. That hawk tried to come in here and pick that thing off. He was eyeing it. Hawks love beef jerky, for those who weren't aware. If you're not, look it up. It's out there. 2-0 count, and Clapp fouls that away. Good pitch down the middle for him to hit, and he got underneath that a little bit, lifted it foul. Last night in Pueblo, doubleheader for the Boulder 64s and Spradley Collegians. 2-1 pitch coming from Marburger. Make it 2-2. Good pitch, inner part of the zone. Spradley and the 64s in game 1 of their doubleheader, they had something like an hour and 50-minute delay, lightning and some rain. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled away by Clapp, reaches down and pulls that out of the zone to keep his count alive. So the 4 o'clock Mountain Time start of Game 1 at Runyon in Pueblo yesterday. That 4 o'clock game finished a little after 8 p.m. I think it was about halfway through 8 p.m., around 8:30 maybe. Maybe a little bit before that. Runner takes off here, and again, Clapp spoils a pitch. Foul. With the almost 2-hour delay they had. Boulder 64s won Game 1. And then the Bradley Collegians turned around and split the doubleheader, knocking off the number 2 team in the Front Range League standings, Boulder 64s. Pueblo sitting in 4th. The runner takes off, and that ball's down. Vila has a steal of second. Probably a defensive indifference moment. The pitch was down. De La Cueva had to work with it to keep it contained. This ball towards center will loop its way down to a tracking center fielder, Hunter Morgan. And there's 1 hit in the inning, but just 4 batters to the plate. And after 4 runs on 2 hits first inning, pitcher Nick Marburger gets the job done in inning number 2. 1 hit and nothing on the board. Score stays 4-2, and it's 7-8-9 for the Miracles. Mason Aaron, Jeremiah Lucero, Bryson Martinez.
The Palace of Pong, the place for paddles. Ping Pong Palace, where ping pong players play ping pong and people populate pre- and post-perfect performances at the ball yard. Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong. Purchase pop, popcorn, pizza, pastries.
Take it from me. Ping Pong Winchester. The place for Pong is Ping Pong Palace.
Ping Pong Palace, positioned perfectly for our population, perpendicular to the pit, plus pleasant proximity to our pristine pond. Please, pop in for Pong.
Easy, boys. Easy, 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 calm. Pet frogs in the booth. All simmer down. Ball 1 from Joshua Grenzenbach with Mason Aaron leading off, 7-batter. 2-umpire crew tonight. Corey Monroe behind the plate. Tim Dumas has the bases. They're scheduled to flip-flop positions for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Thanks to Corey Monroe on the plate, Tim Dumas on the bases for Game 1. Appreciate their work in the Front Range League. Off the plate with that pitch, 2-0 count. During the inning break, you might have seen it on your screen image. Both umpires assembled and gestured up to the booth, and there we go. Look at the lights heating up now. They requested the lights be lit. Get the guy in the back to start pedaling the bike to get those going. Gonna be a long night of pedaling for Pedal Boy. Three-one count. Aaron, 1 hop shot to second base. Out at first. Dom Lefevre at second base on defense for the NoCo Prospectors. 1 away. Take a tour around the defense again for the Prospectors. Outfielders Dax Vila in center, catcher Gladish in left, Daltonberg in right. Alex Clapp at shortstop, and Dom Lefevre at second had that ground ball for the first out. Pitch just missed. Ball 1 to Jeremiah Lucero. First baseman Braden Thompson, third baseman Will Toger, with Joshua Grenzenbach pitching to Kyler Adams and doing it well right there for a strike, 1-1. Jeremiah Lucero batting number 8 with the 1-1 count. He's the DH for the Miracles. He's got a 1-2 after that swing and miss. On deck, Bryson Martinez, the left fielder. That's the number 9 spot in the order. Miracles have 8 and 9 batting in this frame for sure. Foul pop. Little roof bounce. Who knows where that one went? Ooh, maybe up by the Maverick convenience store out behind the home plate gate entrance. It's a ways away. Oh, the snacks abound. 1-2 count. And a roller towards short in time to get Lucero. Alex Clapp on the play at shortstop. Lucero's swing, again, was a little bit decelerated. He was trying to track that pitch and knew it was going to get in or very near the zone. Kind of steered his swing toward the pitch, rolled it to short. Ground balls to the middle in this inning, 1 to second, 1 to short for 2 down. Bryson Martinez, left fielder, first time he's in game 1. Clouds are still here, and the breeze is blowing. It's pretty cool. Fouled off, 0-2, but it looks like maybe the precip at the moment has dissipated. Kind of expect it to be back, though, the way things are looking. I don't know that we're through it all yet. And there's a strikeout pitch. High heat caps the second inning. Martinez swings through a fastball up at his eyes, and that's a nice frame. That entire second inning, 7 batters came to the plate. I'm not rooting for or against anybody, but I love pitching in D compared to a lot of what we see in the Front Range League with massive run production, which is fun. I get it, but that's pretty cool right there. A 4 up, 3 down top of the second for Nick Marburger, who returns to the mound, and then a 3 up, 3 down bottom of 2 for Joshua Grenzenbach. It's 4-2 through 2 frames of a 7-inning game 1 of a DH. Pitch 1, strike 1 from Nick Marburger, facing catcher Gladish. Gladish, the 2-run single in the first inning, put up half of the Prospectors' runs, and he takes an off-speed pitch, beauty, inner part of the zone from Marburger. You go, Nick. Oh-2 pitch. Fouled off by Gladish. missed there for a 1-2. Louis De La Cueva the other day talked to me about the way he tries to approach his role as catcher as he catches against catcher, who flies it to center. Catcher Gladish appears to be an out, and he is. Fly out to center. Back-to-back catches for Hunter Morgan in center field, ending the second and starting the third. Louis De La Cueva, who is now a quarter-century old. He's the grandpa of the squad here for the Miracles. Younger roster for El Paso County Baseball. Louis said one of his roles is to be kind of the third eye for Coach John Byington, who keeps an eye on it all from the top step of the first base dugout with Marcus Gilmore. And Louis said, I'm kind of that third eye. I just got to help get the coaches, everything else I can give him from my spot. This ball is going to drop down in the outfield for a base hit from Dalton Berg. One out, and Berg aboard with the single. Louis, see him frequently signal back to the dugout. He's got a little, basic communication signs that he fires back over there, things he sees, or situational indicators. Louis would like to get into some coaching or program management work. This ball to left from Will Toger. He hit one deep earlier. This one also going to check up in the wind, shy of the track. Toger flew out to deep center, now flies out to left, lifted 2 balls that are both flyouts. The other one was a sac fly with a ribby. This one is out number 2 with Berg staying at first base. Dom Lefevre. Takes ball 1. Chopped foul, third base side, Lefevre. Dom struck out his first time up in the first inning, batting here in the third. Marburger's pitch is down. De La Cueva smothers it. And a baseball change out. Pretty good amount of rain yesterday, too. Got here for batting practice, and the field wasn't puddly, but you could see some glazed spots, especially where the traffic is at first and third. And really second, too, I guess. That ball up the middle is going to get down. Berg rounding second. He'll head for third, and he'll have the bag held up there. Ball bounced loose from Hunter Morgan, who's trying to make a bare hand grab and see if he could throw out Berg. No error there. Berg had him on the turn at second, but Hunter Morgan trying to speed up the pace just in case he could take a shot. Nobody moved up extra bags because of the bobble. Dom Lefevre has a single. 2 hits in the inning with 2 outs, recorded by the Miracles, and Braden Thompson tries to add to the Prospectors' lead. The spots at first base where guys lead off, and then the slide area into second, into third. Marburger's pitch is fouled off. The slide area into second, into third, that's where the dirt kind of gets dug out a little bit. Low spots start to form around the efforts of field maintenance crew. Does a great job here, by the way. Colin and Jimmy, my guys. There was some glazed kind of leftover water in those low spots on the field today, so it already had some moisture in it in a good way. This field had gotten a little dry with the heat over the last couple of weeks. There was a puddle down the left field bullpen that I was checking out pregame. And then a little bit of rain now in the game also. I'd say the dirt's probably in pretty sweet condition. 2-1 count. Marburger sends it in, and it's 2-2. That was foul tipped. Loose at the plate, dead ball. And literally, that ball just got retired. I'll be here all night. No, literally, I will be here all night. Like for real. Doubleheader tonight from Blocktickets Park. Runner goes on a 2-2 pitch. That's strike 3. And 2 hits in the inning, but no runs added on. Miracles hanging around, chasing that 4-2, and they keep it right there. Nice work by Nick Marburger, who came on with nobody out in the first inning and has gone to work. He finished off a count that was started by Sean Ironman before he left with the arm problem, and that was a walk to Berg that was finished. The count split between Ironman and Marburger. And then a flyout, strikeout, ground out, and now 2 frames of no runs for the Prospectors. Good stabilizer from Marburger. Top of the order for the Miracles to go into the 3rd inning, Morgan, Schlepper, Reese. Bottom of 3 from Blocktickets Park. If you have not seen the movie Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Get Me a Cold Shower Cruise, watch that movie, Rain Man. I love patterns. Patterns are great. Rain Man, watch the movie. It kind of ties in. I like this pattern from the NoCo Prospectors. In their last 8 games, they've gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So, by that pattern, due for a W tonight as they have swapped wins and losses for 8 consecutive games. They had a 3-game losing streak on June 21 or 20, 21, and 26, and then since June 27, they have alternated wins and losses. Fouled off here as an airplane nearly got brought out of the sky by that one, flying over right as the ball sends up that direction. Ball 2-1 count. NoCo Prospectors, a win over the Spradley Collegians, then a loss to the Boulder 64s. They beat the Grays, lost to the Collegians of Spradley, beat Spradley Collegians, lost to Boulder, beat Greeley, and lost to Boulder. And then off for a week, as I mentioned. Tonight getting the restart with 2 games, and they're busy coming up here. They've got a doubleheader today and a doubleheader tomorrow, so 4 games in 2 days. Get the pitching staff all sorted out, guys. 2-2 pitch is down for a full count. Grenzenbach facing his first hitter of the 3rd inning. It's the top of the order, Hunter Morgan. 2 games at 4 and 6 tonight, or shortly after 6. And then 2 games tomorrow at Pueblo Spradley Collegians. Here's the 3-2. That is strike 3, and Hunter Morgan skips out of the box thinking that's not what he had on it, but he's not umpiring. Pays well. For the NoCo Prospectors, they drove here today, and what I was told was it was kind of a get yourself there day. A little caravan of vehicles rolling south down I-25 from northern Colorado. They're going to go home tonight, probably finish here if we don't get delays at, 9 o'clock-ish. And at that time of night, probably get back up into northern Colorado, Fort Collins area, a couple hours, or a little less if you really bring it. And then they're back at Runyon in Pueblo. Their first game is 1 o'clock tomorrow. That means they'll show up probably around 11 or a little before 11. So they'll be back on the road at 8 a.m. or so. So you're looking at a get home, sleep, and get back in the car and play 2 more ball games for the Prospectors. Had that week off. This ball is hit hard to left by Jackson Schlepper. It's going to check up and left, and Gladish settles underneath it for 2 down. Pretty good off the barrel from Schlepper, and it got caught up in that wind out there. Gladish 2 away, and Austin Reese coming to the plate. There will be some attempt to find a dry rag and some camera lens wipe-off duties will be breaking out here between innings. And we'll leave that live for you. Stick around during the break and watch a towel go all over your camera shot. So I did notice the ledge of the window and my keyboard are more wet now than they were before. The breeze blowing in here. Also attacking the lens of our home plate camera. 0-1 count to Austin Reese. He's got a 1-1 count now. Ball inside. Should have not said that. People out there checking their prescriptions, rubbing their eyes, putting in some Visine or eye drop of choice. Didn't mean to give an unpaid plug to Visine. I'm sure there are a lot of other types of eye drops other than Visine. This ball is a single. Austin Reese on a pitch down. He shakes his hands out a little bit as he runs down to first base. Reese hits a single to right over the head of the second baseman, Dom Lefevre. And it's 2 hits in the game for Reese. Austin, 2 for 2, has the RBI from the first inning. He's on with 2 outs, and Maddox Stahl will hit. All right, here's big-time Front Range League streaming for you. So you're going to get a chance to see how the professional work happens here with a lens wipe. Here comes the first pitch from Grenzenbach. It's down in the dirt, and that throw is going to sail wide on the steal try. Reese gets up. He'll move to third. Stolen base for Austin Reese to second, and a wide throw by Adams sends him to third. All right, here comes the technical work. Heads up now. Ooh, look. Oh, wait, that's not going to do it. That's for me. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Add another high-level skill to my list. Lens water remover. Pitch is up and in. To your dismay, I'll be here all night. Maddox Stahl with the runner at third, batting with 2 away. A light rain falling. It backed off for a little bit. Now it's back to the drizzle. 2-1 count. Foul back. It's 2-2. Miracles would love to get that run in, make it a 1-run game. Stahl got to work now with 2-2 and 2 outs. Grenzenbach's pitch is peeled away to the right side, foul. Another 2-2 from Joshua Grenzenbach. Swing and a miss, and the Miracles will strand Austin Reese at third base. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Grenzenbach. He's got 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Joshua Grenzenbach and his team in the lead 4-2 as we go to the 4th inning of a 7-inning ball game. So it gets late early in these. It's not quite late yet, but we're deep in the midsection of this one. It's 4-2. Good game going at the Prospectors and Miracles. Miracles on a 1-day off gap, 2 days between games, and the Prospectors coming off of a 1-week hiatus. Both teams scoring in the first, 4 for NoCo in the first, answered by 2 from El Paso County Baseball in that same frame, and then each team hanging up zeros in the second and the third. 4th inning coming up with Brett Lamb to lead off.
That strike brought to you by Local Union 247365. We like strikes.
Ball 1 inside. Top of 4 is underway. Brett Lamb takes. Bullpens empty on both sides. Marburger's pitch. Good pitch. First one was inside for a ball. Second one was inside and probably had the zone, and Lamb swung. It would have been a jam shot if he would have hit it. That was a good pitch adjustment from Marburger. Miss for a 2-1 count. Nick's pitch, another swing and a miss. So 2 balls delivered and 2 swinging strikes in the count to Lamb. And a breaking ball got Lamb as out number 1 of the top of the 4th. That's back-to-back Ks for Nick Marburger. Capped the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd, with a strikeout of Braden Thompson swinging, and now the swinging strikeout of Brett Lamb. Catcher Kyler Adams. And another strike put on the board by Marburger. Love the strike rate from Nick. He comes in tight on Adams. Good pitch from Marburger. Executes an off speed. That looked like it had spin to it. It broke down and away. I don't know if that was a change or a breaking pitch, but that thing finished nicely for Nick Marburger. 1-2 the count. Goes to the outside and missed off the edge. 2-2. Storm clouds floating around. Rain still falling. Little drizzle going on now. It picked up a moment ago. Wind was blowing it into the booth and all over the park. Wind shifting around. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and he lost him. 1 out, and the 9 spot in the order, Kyler Adams, draws a walk. And NoCo Prospectors, they've been courtesy running this year. Looks like they'll do it again. Here comes courtesy runner out of the third base dugout. Genoa Trujillo. takes over for Adams running bags. Now some strike zone trouble for Marburger as he misses again. I think that's 4 consecutive. Finished the last AB with 3 in a row and opens up with a ball to the top of the order. Dax Vila, the center fielder. Ball called. Louis De La Cueva held the pose a little longer on the throwback that time, in maybe a very understated tone of protest about the call. Down and dug out by Vila. That's down the line. Extra bases. Around second goes Genoa Trujillo. He's in at third, and the double for Dax Vila. Bouncer past the third base bag. Has 1 out, and runners at second and third for NoCo Prospectors. Looked like Trujillo coming around second base had a little bit of a slip. I couldn't tell if it was at the bag or just after the bag. Genoa keeps his feet and makes it to third base with third base coach Jamie Thompson welcoming him in. And a balk was just called. And Nick Marburger still hasn't broken the pose. He's not sure what he did. Still isn't sure, and I didn't see it. And John Byington, the manager for the Miracles, is out. He assumes the I disagree pose, hands on the hips. That one scored a run, so that's a big balk call. Conversation over, and run home for the courtesy runner Genoa Trujillo on a balk, one of those things. Writing it on my scorecard, it just looks weird. One out, balk has the runner in, and a bunt thrown out there, fouled away, popped up to the screen. Alex Clapp. Coach Byington calling the infielders in now. The middles just came in. Breaking pitch. They ask out about the offer on the swing, no go. Clapp held up, 2-1 count. 5-2 ball game now with the run in for the Prospectors in the inning. Fastball down, skipping just behind the plate. Here's a 2-1 from Marburger, or it was 3-1. Scoreboard is off. It was off a ball on the count. That was a 3-1 pitch that missed. Clapp, free pass. His second walk of the game. Catcher Gladish on what would appear to be a tough night to get a ball out of a deep park. Gladish has been the leading home run producer for the Prospectors this year. He represented the team in the home run derby in Gering, Nebraska during the All-Star Spectacular Night 1 Derby, Night 2 All-Star game. De La Cueva fakes the throw, and then he dirted that, and it's a great effort at third by Brainerd. Throw behind here, and they can't get anybody. Had a couple chances. Brainerd, I don't know if he got that off the face or not. That was, he says he's all right. Chris Nobbenshoe, Prospectors manager, walks out from the dugout and talks to Brainerd. He kind of rubs the side of his jaw, his right jaw, neck area. Maybe that's where it got him. I thought it got up into his face. So De La Cueva on a first and third steal. The catcher got up, didn't have a grip on it, kind of mishandled. So he faked a throw, then went to third, and he skipped that. And everybody's moving up. Vila scores, making it 6-2. And the stealing Alex Clapp gets the extra base on the error throw. Two runs here for the Prospectors, pushing their lead to 6-2. One hit in the inning, a pair of walks, and a strikeout. Quick mound visit, and Marburger's back to action, and he's up and in on Gladish. Should put the count at 2-0. Marburger down. That was actually 3-0. Scoreboard had 1-0. Everybody catching up. That's 3 walks in the inning. Field umpire Tim Dumas between batters talking to Nick Marburger and just clarifying, I think, what the balk concerns were about, trying to help him as he gets ready for the next AB to understand what they were looking at. Dalton Berg, first pitch, sails that above the third base dugout, and that'll get, actually got into a seat, flapped down the seat, bounced right back out to Nicholas Brainerd. Brainerd, good conversation pregame during BP. He was standing at third base, fielding BP balls for the Miracles. Talked to him for a little while. Said he was a homeschool kid up through most of high school. Runner takes off, and De La Cueva again is going to let him go on the first and third. Gladish takes second base. Nicholas Brainerd said he finished up at Wheat Ridge. Went to Denver South for a year, close to his home. Swing and a miss for Dalton Berg. It's a 1-2 count. Berg reaches out on a 1-2. He's going to produce a run with a swatted ball to left field. It's a sac fly for Dalton Berg. It's 7-2, 3-run inning for the NoCo Prospectors. Nice work on 2 strikes by Dalton Berg. Sending home Alex Clapp on the tag up. Second out of the inning. Marburger's pitch. That one is wide and bounces through to the backstop. Will Toger watches it sail, and catcher Gladish moves up on the wild pitch to third base. Nick Marburger kicking off his cleats as he walks back out. Some of the mound material getting jammed up. Toger bounces that towards short, and the ball is booted on the glove try. Charging was Schlepper. Toger's in safely, and Gladish scores on the error on the infield ground ball. 4th run of the inning, matching their first run out, or first inning output. 4 in the first for NoCo Prospectors, 4 in the 4th, 8-2. This ball right back up the middle. Dom Lefevre, first pitch, shoots it right by the hip of pitcher Nick Marburger. Smooth swing, single. 4 runs in the inning, and that was just the second hit of the inning, and that one did not produce a run. Walks have been the issue here. Error keeps the frame going. double by Dax Vila, bouncer down the third baseline, and then the single back through the box just right now from Lefevre. And here's the ninth batter of the inning, Braden Thompson with 2 outs. Every Prospectors batter has come to the plate. Bullpen will get going for the Miracles. Logan Wilson walking down there. Looks like Evan Iacono is pulling the tarp off of the bullpen mound. They both got gloves, Iacono and Wilson. And Iacono's got a baseball. Looks like he might throw. Thompson takes, and the pitch lands down and away. 3-0 count. Marber trying to keep this count alive. He will with a strike to 3-1. Prospectors had 4 batters come to the plate in the second. They had 5 in the third. And now this 9-batter frame in the fourth. Thompson gets down and gets that pitch to the gap and covering some ground, sliding after the catch. Nice running play by Hunter Morgan in center field. That denies more on the board for the Prospectors. Well hit by Braden Thompson. And a nice catch in left center by Hunter Morgan for the Miracles, who get the bleeding stopped at 4 runs in the fourth inning by the Prospectors. It'll be Louis De La Cueva, the number 5 spot in the order, followed by Brainerd and Aaron coming to the plate in the bottom of the fourth, with the Miracles now down by 6. Get you more from the John Byington interview. Going to hear more of Coach Byington's comments from our conversation pregame right now. New collegiate team, you just said it. What are your? Still got a little ways to go here, so more to enjoy and more to do in the season. But what are your reflections on this season as a guy leading one of these teams?
It's great. I enjoyed the league. It's a good league. It's a legitimate. I've been in other collegiate leagues. I've coached, and this is my 4th league to coach in. It's a good league. I like it. It's got a good setup. It's got great potential, and I'm excited about being a part of it. I've liked it a lot.
Your assistant coach, Marcus Gilmore, completely lacks personality. That's irony. I'm joking. That's not true at all. Did you know Marcus before? So I'm curious about that answer. And then sort of what's the dynamic for the two of you running this group?
Yeah, he's a great guy. We really connect really well. Of course, he's with the EPCB family, and that he works at DBAT, does lessons, and had that connection. So I knew him a little bit from DBAT before we started. But I've really gotten to know him once we started this. And man, he's a great guy. Great baseball mind. Great personality. Great with the young men. Just a gifted coach at the college level.
I appreciate just having observed your games from up top, and you're always standing right there. I know where to look for you every time, right there on that first step of the lean and rail. I appreciate how you go about what you do. Your tone, your style, for me, you're similar to how I like to try to coach. We'll freeze the John Byington conversation there, and I will attempt to remember to fire it up when this inning ends. Good comments from Coach Byington. More coming. Louis De La Cueva peels the banana foul. Bounces off the bleacher seats on the first base side. And sends one through the left side. De La Cueva, base hit. Louis, good swing. Has the leadoff miracle aboard. Coach Byington looks like I don't know if he's asking Louis, the catcher, if he wanted to run or if he's telling him he was running. Option to courtesy run for the catcher. Louis out there now after his single. Nicholas Brainerd steps in. Nicholas said one of his friends who is playing for the NoCo Prospectors, and I don't recall if he gave up the identity, but he said a buddy of his who's going to play, it was catcher Gladish, actually, that's who it was Gladish. They've known each other for a long time. They hit with the same hitting guy. Gladish told him about the league, and Brainerd, who's at the plate right now, inquired about the Prospectors and then kind of got on the trail of the Miracles. And Brainerd, who lives in Denver, kind of right in the middle of town near the campus of Denver, or the University of Denver, DU, jumped on with the Miracles. And Brainerd, the current batter, with a 3-1 count, he said, "Hope this bullpen ball, hold on, look out, ball coming in, Rando." That one came from way down in the right field corner in the bullpen. Mason Aaron on deck scoops it up. Brainerd said that joined on with the Miracles. They had some position play available. He's been playing third base of late, with Jansen Roberts moving over to first with greater frequency. And Brainerd said he's loved his time with the Miracles, loves the coaches. That pitch gets the outer edge, hits a full count. Really had great things to say about coaches John Byington and Marcus Gilmore, and how much he's enjoyed the coaching staff of the Miracles and his experience with this team. Said he'd like to play with them again after finding them through kind of a roundabout process. This ball is down in front of his buddy. He drops one in front of catcher Gladish. Take that, left fielder. And a little extra pump of the hands there from Brainerd. Probably not because he hit it in front of Gladish, but because that was a 3-2 count that he thought strike two might have been a ball. He kind of reset himself after thinking, that was more of a walk pitch, but okay, 3-2, and he fights off the AB and sends a single flare over the third base bag, dropping into left. De La Cueva moves to second. Brainerd moves to first, and I might move to a sweatshirt. It's chilly. Breeze coming into the booth. Feels more like a late fall game out here, which is kind of cool. No complaints. Joshua Grenzenbach, the starting pitcher, still going for the Prospectors. And the Prospectors bullpen, not only empty, but it's still tarped. It's not even in usable form yet. That wouldn't take long, obviously, but I looked down to see if it was active, and not only is it not active, it's deactivated. Mason Aaron with a swing and a miss. He's got a 1-2 count. Another bullpen ball comes in. A ball just delivered. That was a ball pitch to Mason Aaron, and then a skipping ball for the second time comes down from the right side bullpen, causing a brief pause in action. I think we've got a 2-2 count here. Scoreboard shows 1-2. Okay, now I'm going to predict it's 3-2, but I could be off one. It seems full, with Mason Aaron batting. Grenzenbach's pitch is up. I guess it wasn't. That was a 2-2 because it goes wild and the runners move up, but Aaron stays there, so I was wrong. In the fine words of somebody who really doesn't feel that bad about their mistake. Well, yeah, here comes John Byington holding up four fingers. He thinks that was 4. I kind of think he's right. I think that count was off. Yeah, there was a 1-2 pitch that was out of the zone right before that bullpen ball came down that took it to 2-2. That was 2 balls after that. I agree. I think that count was off. Make it 3-2 here. And Grenzenbach, I think he figures he just got the even up math right there. You might credit that walk to John Byington. That pitcher looked pretty good. Maybe he was up. And that'll cause the other guy to come out, Chris Nabenschu from the opposite side. So like a puppet show, managers popping out of the dugouts with frequency. Mr. Rogers style with the little wooden set and the curtain and the puppets in the hands. Look it up. It's out there. Mr. Rogers is even on the internet. Go find him. De La Cueva to third and Brainerd to second, and Mason Aaron to first on his walk. Load the bases with nobody out. 8 and 9 batters on their way. Jeremiah Lucero. Bending pitch for a strike. One strike, 0-1 the count after the mound visit by Chris Nabenschu. One count, ball misses. So Chris Nabenschu went out and was checking in on his pitcher and then was walking off, and he was looking up toward the press box. Breaking ball didn't miss by much. As he walked off, he said across to Coach Byington, he said, "Hey, John, we might have to do something about that." And they were all looking up this way. It always feels like they're looking right at me, but there's 3 or 4 different windows up here. Got a scoreboard window with a public address, 2 windows down to my left field side, and then 2 windows down to my right field side is that's actually the public address over there, and some music. Fouled off by Lucero. We'll have to see if I can figure out what we got to do something about that might be. I know there have been times when like music is played too long or somebody's beatboxing on the microphone during play. Can't have that. Grenzenbach, that pitch is lifted to center. Average depth, caught in center. Tag up is De La Cueva. He'll score on a sac fly, and the throw in gets loose, and that's free bags for the Miracles. It was a clean sac fly, tag up score for De La Cueva on Lucero's fly ball. Nice job by Jeremiah. Send one out to center for a sac fly and a ribby, and the third run of the game for the Miracles. And then the throw in was going toward third. The right throw was made, but it was wide, and everybody gets to move up on a loose ball on the infield. Error on the throw back in. That ball didn't hit the grass either. It was a catch fly ball, so I don't think water on the ball was the issue. Vila just kind of lost the throw there. That's a couple big bags for the Miracles, and the first pitch is launched down the right field line. That's going to get foul over the bullpen, bounces against the wall of the patio deck that butts up against the bullpen. Bryson Martinez went first pitch and fouled it off right side. Bullpen getting to work now for the Prospectors. Nice play by Kyler Adams, catcher for the Prospectors. Grenzenbach was on his way to the plate, knowing he had cut loose a wild pitch, dirt pitch, and Adams did good work to keep that in front of him on the left side batter's box dirt. 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back. Good hack by Bryson Martinez. Mentioned I like the patterns. Win-loss, 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 win-loss for Prospectors. They don't love it. They'd like to have more W's there. Also, like every time I see Bryson Martinez play left field, he wears jersey number 7. So when he plays position 7, it just makes me happy. 1-2 pitch fouled off again by Martinez. On deck batter is Hunter Morgan, the leadoff batter in the order. Center fielder is over picking up the foul off from the net. Pitch is in tight on the number 9 batter Martinez. He's 0 for 1 in the game. It's a 2-2 count. 1 run in for the Miracles, 8-3 the score. Runners at second and third. Grenzenbach's pitch, nibbling and just missed. Pitch breaking just off the edge. Good pitch by Joshua Grenzenbach. Gave him 2 chances to win right there. Either catch the zone or get a reaching whiff swing at a breaking ball. Now he comes back at it, and Martinez ready for it. Sends it up the middle. Shortstop makes the play, but the throw pulls Braden Thompson off the bag. Alex Clapp toward the bag at second, made the forehand play, and then he elevated the throw. Run scores. That's Nicholas Brainerd. Mason Aaron to third, and Bryson Martinez on. Couple singles to open the inning, then a walk, sac fly, error, and it's the top of the order with the Miracles making a nice push in response in the 4th. Right now, the line score on the big scoreboard in left center field is balanced. First inning, 4-2 visitors. Middle 2 innings on there, the second and the third zeros for everybody. And now another 4-2 in the 4th, but the Miracles aren't done yet. Strike makes it 0-2. Hunter Morgan. Grenzenbach's pitch is down and away. Southwest Airlines 5:44 Mountain Time air shuttle sails by. Here comes a bullpen ball again. That's going to roll in and be left there while this ground ball goes toward second. Nice backhand glove flip. Roll it over and turn it. Double play ball. Nice play by Tom Lefevre. Moving to his backhand side, makes the pick on that skimmer of a ground ball, and he makes a glove flip feed to Clapp, who turns it over, and the 2 runs up, but the scoreboard will stay balanced right there. 4 in the first and 4 in the 4th for NoCo. 2 in the first, 2 in the 4th for El Paso County baseball. It's 8-4 into the 5th inning. Pitching change for the Miracles. Evan Iacono takes over for Nick Marburger in the top of 5.
You seem like a guy, you have a mission beyond just each pitch and each individual swing. What do you think you're trying to accomplish with these guys? What's your mission in this role you're in?
Yeah, so, to get them better. I was fortunate enough to play pro ball, so I was my dream to play in the big leagues, and if Lord willing, if I ever got the coach there, that would be great too. I look at it as I love amateur. I've been involved in it my whole life, amateur baseball, but the standard is the major leagues, and so I got to see enough of it, be around it enough to know I want to carry myself like a professional. So. But as far as these guys, we're trying to get them better. Some of them are just learning the college game, and we're trying to get them acclimated. Some of them are already established guys. We're just trying to maybe get to that next level, whether it's pro ball or just being a conference all-star for their conference or all conference player. And then also, I have a faith in Christ and wanting to help anyone I come into contact with just to potentially know Christ as their Lord and Savior. That's always on the back burner, but try to keep it in line with what I'm doing as a baseball coach, but that's always on the back burner.
Last thing from you, you just mentioned the major leagues, and I'm bad at favorites. People are, what's your favorite this and that? I'm like, I don't know, I like a lot of stuff. But you mentioned major leagues. Is there a manager, whether it's major league or other level, a manager for you that's kind of maybe a model? And is there a player that you can name that, like, my guy, my player over the years?
Well, I'm an Astros fan. I grew up in Houston, so when I was a kid, I went to the old Astrodome. I would say from an old school, old Bill Verdon for the Astros, and then Billy Doran was a great player that I liked a lot. I'm aging myself nowadays. Even though the Astros got in trouble with the sign stealing, I think A.J. Hinch is a great coach. I think he's a great manager. And then, of course, I know there's a lot of haters out there, but I think I don't know who my favorite Astro is, but that's my team. Probably Alvarez, Yordan Alvarez.
Well, you hit the sweet spot there. If you age yourself, you age me too, because I grew up in Colorado, but for some reason I grew up a huge Astros fan as a kid. We had Broncos season tickets, and it started with Billy White Shoes Johnson for the Oilers. I started liking them, and then I liked the Twin Towers, the Rockets, and I became and I was all Houston sports. I was all in. So my guy, and I can't pick favorites, but when I go to the Hall of Fame now, and my guy, if I have to pick one player of all time, Craig Biggio. My guy, that's the guy. I was a big Killer Bees fan. I mean, I was all in. So when you just said that just now, I got all worked up. Like, oh no, I have the same struggle ever since the scandal. I'm like, okay, but that classic stuff in the Astros world was awesome. Coach, thank you for the time and appreciate what you've done, what you brought to the table this year in the league. You've really been a big piece of the first year of this thing. Thank you.
Thanks, Thad. Thanks for all you've done too. Appreciate the opportunity. Yes, sir.
All right.
John Byington's pretty nifty. Colin, Jimmy, grounds crew, head groundskeeper Colin and assistant groundskeeper Jimmy. They just gave me first names, which I think is kind of cool. Let's keep it like that. It's like a scene from Sandlot. The boys roll out with a bag of Turfus or Diamond Dry and a rake and do their magic. On the pitching mound, as you might have noticed, or you can still see the fresh material, the lighter material spread around for the pitchers to get a little better grippage. And it's the top of the fifth inning for Miracles and Prospectors. 8-4 as each team doubled their score in the fourth inning, and that's bad news for the Miracles because they were down with half the count that the Prospectors had. So when you double them up now, it's 8-4. Evan Iacono steps on for the El Paso County Baseball Miracles. Nick Marburger exits the first base dugout. He's pitched his round for the night. No balls, one strike up on the scoreboard on Brett Lamb's AB to open the fifth inning of a 7-inning game 1 of 2 tonight. Iacono is up above the zone. Evan, part of a chain of pitchers a couple nights ago in Boulder who had the unenvious task of trying to just mop up a game that was out of control. Boulder 64s won 20-8 2 nights ago in Boulder. Lamb slots a swing, and he hammers that to center. It's still going. Morgan on the run, can't get it. Bounces to the wall, and Brett Lamb is into second base. I saw Brett, hit when he was 12. He played on a team I coached that went to Cooperstown. Made another trip with us later. We did some Vegas and California stuff, and then he came and hit in a home run derby with us about, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and that swing right there was the one that I saw him use for power frequently. He kind of gets a slotted swing. He's got the backside drive on it. Really gets the power slot going, and that one he blasted to deep center field. 2 short skipping hops to the white sign right below the Miracles logo on the scoreboard. There's a white advertising banner out there that says Amentum, and he bounced it right up against that on a slight pull shot toward left center for the righty Lamb. Leadoff double for the Prospectors. Kyler Adams, the catcher, has a 1-0 count. That's ticked foul. Bat first. Louis' glove second. Just wrapped up the John Byington conversation during that last changeover. Old skipper number 8 for the Miracles. Just picked up the loose ball on a 1-1 count. Iacono to Adams. Down for a 2-1 count. John Byington, he mentioned that he had the opportunity to play pro ball. We talked about that off of the interview, and he said he was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, played 6 years in their organization, made it to AAA, didn't get to the bigs. A draft pick of the Brewers, 6 years with them, and then 1 year with the Texas Rangers back in his home state. Pretty cool for player John Byington before his coaching years. As he said, he coached collegiately, Abilene, for 22 years. Speaking of 22, here's a 2-2 count, and Iacono sends a jam shot off the bat of Adams, foul. Seven years in the minor league system for the Miracles manager, who now is the head coach at Coronado High School in Colorado Springs. Moved to Castle Rock with his wife, as he said she worked for the church for a long time and now a nurse. Here's a ball to left that might get over. Nope, that's going to hold up. Brett Lamb saw the way that was caught. He went back and tagged, and he'll have third base. Retreating catch in left field. Out is the priority. Bryson Martinez got it, but he was not in a throwing position, was having to shuffle his feet and kind of spin on the catch, meaning he couldn't set up and rip a throw back to third, and Brett Lamb makes a nice read on that. Tags up, reading the type of throw that would be coming against him. No sacrifice on a fly ball if it's not a run-scoring fly ball. It's a fly out to left for Adams, but he does move up a runner, and that's always a premium. Balk is called on Iacono, and that's the second time in this game that the Prospectors plate a run on a balk call. Third balk called in the game. And it's the third time a run is scored on that. Jackson Schlepper scored on a balk call himself in the first inning. Miracle shortstop. Make it 9 for Prospectors. Evan Iacono out away with that pitch to the top of the order, Dax Vila. 2-0 count. Three-0 count. Was not much discussion of that balk. I wasn't looking at Iacono when it was called. I was looking elsewhere, and then flipped my eyes over there when I heard balk, and really not much of a conversation. So whatever that one was seemed to be understandable from everybody's perspective. Vila takes a ball that'll send him down to first. Top of the order, Alex. Oh, yeah, that was wrong. I think, did Louis just call out top? Top of the order, Dax Vila just walked, and now it's Alex Clapp. Number 2 batter for the Prospectors, the lefty. He's shown bunt a couple times tonight. He'll take strike one. flinched the hips and elbows, shoulders on that pitch, but didn't go the rest of the way with it, taking on the outer edge on the first pitch, looking for a better one. Vila looks like he's in ready mode, won't run here from first base. 1-1 count. Both bullpens back to empty. Prospectors did have bullpen activity moments ago. They've gotten 4 innings out of their starter, Joshua Grenzenbach. Thunder rolls in the skies over Colorado Springs. Throw sent over to first after Vila was dancing on the previous sequence and Iacono stepped off. He got back on, and this time he sends a throw over. There goes the runner, Vila. Bunt is put down foul, third base side. And now back up the middle. That'll get over second base into center field, and everybody's moving up. From the plate to first goes Clapp with his single, and from first to second goes Vila with 1 out. Second hit of the inning. Happens in most ball games, and it has been the case in the Front Range League, but the pace of this one, the rhythm of this one is grinded down here in the middle frames. Runs being scored, obviously, but pitch delivery pace, rhythms of the game flattening a little bit. 9-4 the score, 5-run lead for the visitors, the Prospectors. De La Cueva blocks and then exchanges a ball. Catcher Gladish has been a heck of a stick for the Prospectors. That's in on him. He'll take it for a 2-0 count. Catcher batting .467. That's the highest mark on the stat chart I've got for the Prospectors. .467 with a .652 on base percentage. It's funny, there's actually 2 Gladishes on the stat chart for the Prospectors. One spelled correctly with a Y, Gladish, and one with an I, Gladish. 2-1 count to catcher. He'll take for a 3-1 count. And if you look at those 2, Gladish and Gladish, they're both ridiculous. Gladish with a Y is hitting .467 with a .652 on base. Gladish with an I, and this includes, 33 plate appearances compared to 46 for his other alter ego. That guy's hitting .630 with a .697 on base. This one, he rockets down the left field line. That's going to get foul. That one actually did take a limb off. To self-amuse, I talk about pruning a tree sometimes just because it makes me happy. That one actually knocked a branch off of the tree out in foul left field. I was walking around that little tree grove that's down left side beyond the sloped berm at Blocktickets Park. This pitch into Gladish will be a walk. And the bases are full for the number 4 batter, Dalton Berg. So you can't quite see that. Just off of the left edge of your screen, you see the foul pole's the very last thing on the very edge, that yellow extension over the edge of the left field wall. You can see a little bit of the bullpen area past, a little short of that black banner and past the high net behind the dugout. Just over there, there's a tree grove right next to the foul pole. Gladish's ball went in with enough velocity that it busted a dry branch off of one of those trees and sent that sailing. 1 out and the base is full. 5-run lead. Prospectors trying to tack on here with their number 4 batter. Berg takes a big hack at it. 1-1. Like a little off speed got him. So Gladish, if you combine those two spellings of the name on the stat chart, came into today with 79 plate appearances and hitting well over 400. He's probably in the 500 if you combine the numbers I'm looking at. He has been excellent for the Prospectors. And he's got 9 home runs on the year. 1-2 pitch to Berg. Berg hammers that. That ball is over the top in center. It's going to bounce just in front of the wall. Grabbed by Morgan running away from the infield. Going to wheel him all around. Little double clutch on the throw, and that'll be offline. And the bags are cleared on a rocket double from Dalton Berg, who sat on a pitch and sends 3 home. Double digits for the Prospectors, a dozen runs. They've got now, 4 in the frame here. This is their 3rd 4-run inning for the NoCo Prospectors. Beautiful swing from Dalton Berg, 3 RBI, the result of that. And he's got 4 ribbies on the night with a sac fly last inning. 12-4 in the 5th. This ball is kind of a jam job. It's going to spin its way through the infield. Toger's got a base hit. Berg's going to score. Will Toger fends off a pitch in on his hands, and he squirts that through the right side of the infield. Kind of spins it through the defense. Austin Reese making a reach at it, wide of his grasp. RBI squibber. It clears the infield for Toger. 5 runs in the frame, a new high water mark for 1 inning. Finish off the Gladish double stats, 2 spelling guy. 9 home runs on the year. For Gladish with a Y, that guy has 4 home runs. For Gladish with an I, that guy has 5. So his alter ego with the I has more home runs than the Y catcher. All of it combines up to be the same dude. Just got input differently depending on who was keeping the stat on that game. 9 long balls for Gladish on the year. That's a team leading by a bunch number for catcher. Reaching swing for Lefevre. Dom's got 2 hits in the game. He's 2 for 3. He's batting for the 3rd consecutive inning, and in the 3rd inning he had a single. 4th inning he had a single. Now bats in the 5th. And again, he's the 8th batter to come to the plate. With 1 out, they're in position to send 9 to the plate again, barring a double play. Pitch is up. Braden Thompson on deck. Braden has the dubious distinction of having ended 3 innings. He was the 3rd out in the 1st, also in the 3rd, also in the 4th. Braden would like to break through here. Iacono's pitch skips to a reach wide by De La Cueva. 3-1 count. And a walk pitch. Now 2 aboard. Toger at second. Lefevre on. And here's the 9th batter of the inning, but first a mound visit from John Byington. Walk to Dom Lefevre. Dom, he's up around 60 plate appearances on the year. He's been getting a good chunk of offensive opportunity. And he's backed up by Braden Thompson, who is considered a player coach on this team with his dad, Jamie, on the coaching staff. Jamie, an educator at Arvada West High School. coached in the Pioneer League with Chris Nobenschuh last year. We'll hear about that in the Nobenschuh interview that I captured earlier pregame. Braden Thompson getting his 4th plate appearance of the night. It's his 51st on the year. Prospectors of northern Colorado are playing tonight this is their 25th game of the season. Mound visit complete, and Iacono back up there. New count to Braden Thompson. Runners at first and second. 5 runs in with 1 out. Runners take off, and Thompson is on for the first time. He's hit by pitch. Now some danger here for the Miracles. One more run in from the Prospectors, and then it would be if you hold them in the bottom of the frame, it's over. So the jeopardy is jeopardish, as nobody's ever said. Iacono to Brett Lamb. That's upstairs. Prospectors everywhere. There's a 10-run rule after 5 in a 7-inning ball game, and this is the recipe Chris Nobenschuh talked about with me pregame. After the week break, the 1 week off for the Prospectors, fouled off by Lamb. I said, well, your arms should be fairly fresh. He said, yeah, and they're not super deep on arms. They have a few injuries. A couple guys had to depart for the season, so they're not. Roster isn't super thick. He said it'd be great to try to get one done efficiently here if we can and save some innings, and they're in a position to make that a reality. Going to need to drive in at least one more and then hold. Miracles have 2 runs in the first and 2 in the fourth. Offense is going to need to go to work for El Paso County baseball. Lamb, couple of foul offs, a 1-2 count. Iacono to Brett Lamb in the number 8 spot in the order. That's down for 2-2. Last at bat, it was last inning. Brett Lamb hammered a double to center field. His first hit of the night. He's 1 for 3. I said last half inning. Feels like it. That was this inning. Check it. Brett led off the inning with that double. That was this frame. He also led off the fourth, but that went differently. He struck out for that one before 9 guys came to the plate, and he's going to strike out here in his second at-bat of the inning. Swing and a miss for Lamb. 2 down. Miracles now brush up against the potential to keep themselves out of run rule jeopardy. If the Miracles can get the out and not yield one, then the run rule math would not be in effect. Kyler Adams, catcher, number 9 spot.
That ball brought to you by Rocky Mountain Oysters.
Two-0 pitch from Iacono. Bullpen working for the Prospectors. Fouled back from Adams. It is Riggs Towel in the bullpen for NoCo. Out of Greeley, Colorado, Riggs. He might be, I thought I might have heard he was getting the Game 2 start tonight, so this could be just a warm-up preparing for a later appearance, unless they would try to close with him in a run rule situation. He's done now. Didn't throw long down there. Still have Joshua Grenzenbach of record for the Prospectors. The starter has gone 4 and given up 4 runs. And Adams swings, and 2 strikeouts leave them loaded for the NoCo Prospectors. So that is a subplot within the larger picture of what's going on here. It's a big lead for the Prospectors, but they cannot get the Miracles on the brink of a game ender. They've got them right up to the edge, but couldn't quite get their 9-run lead, and so the run rule math not there. And that means the Miracles will bat at least twice more. Bottom of the 5th comes first. 9 runs in the last 2 frames for NoCo. They lead 13-4. It's the 5th inning stretch of a 7-inning ball game with Riggs Towel taking over on the hill for NoCo. Riggs Towel is on. From the stats I'm presented, this for Riggs, his 4th appearance of the season. No starts. He's now appeared in 4 games of this, the 25th played by the Prospectors. Snaps a pitch short of the plate, bounces it through. Rain coming down, as rainy as it's been tonight. It was a puddle by the third base dugout on the, as you walk out of the top step, you can see it on your screen. Third base side, big shiny puddle right there. And you can see the raindrops dancing more significantly than they have throughout the game. The Riggs Towel, 3 1/3 innings pitched through previous 3 appearances. This is 4th. This ball is a 1-hop. Braden Thompson stays down on it, makes the flip, and safe is the call. I think Thompson might have been able to beat the batter, Schlepper, to the bag. He opted for the pitcher coming to cover, and Schlepper's foot gets down before that of Riggs Towel. Infield single on the hustle from shortstop Jackson Schlepper, leading off the offense for the Miracles in the 5th. Austin Reese to the plate. For Riggs Towel, in the 3 1/3 innings pitched, facing 21 batters across those innings he's worked, so almost 7 batters faced per inning. He's had some traffic, Riggs. Has traffic there with the first guy aboard. Riggs, 8 walks and 7 strikeouts, 5 runs allowed, all earned in his 3 1/3. I am actively retraining myself as a foul ball shot down the first base line. Reese, a couple times down there, 0-2. Talked to Riggs before the game, and on the very first day for these teams, we met at City Park in Fort Collins, and they were doing team photos, and I ran out and kind of ran through pronunciations, and I had Riggs Toll jotted down as a pronunciation from that day. So today when I was talking to him, I just verified it because I've heard it said a bunch of different ways. Public address announcer at Fort Collins is Towley with the E at the end of it, and spelling is Towle. But Riggs updated me with the towel is how he pronounced it. He said, I don't really care. It doesn't matter. Probably when I asked him about it that first day, I said Toll, and he said, sure. But my understanding is that towel is correct right from the words, the mouth of the current pitcher, number 12 for the Prospectors. So towel it is. Back pick from Kyler Adams. Oh, wait, that's Kyler Adams. I got that one right. Clean up the pronunciations. Let's go. In the most insincere expression of apology. My bad. It's all me, dog. It's all me, bro. Tap, tap, tap to the chest. My bad. It's all me. Whatever. Get out of here with the lack of apologetic juice. Didn't mean to mess it up for you, Kyler Adams. 2-2 the count. Riggs Towle takes over in the frame after 4 innings from Joshua Grenzenbach. This ball from Reese on a 2-2. That's hit hard into right. That'll be a single, and it'll move the runner 2 bags. Schlepper around a third. As I've commented during the course of the season, you can go from brink of run rule to game on pretty quickly. If you put up 3 spot, a 4 spot, 9 runs the differential, so it would not be a run rule now, but Miracles have what they want here with their number 4 batter, Maddox Stahl, 2 aboard. Missing one of their big sticks tonight. Jansen Roberts not in this game, and there's a pick throw that's thrown away. Reese might get that ball. Did it go dead? Yeah, they do call that dead. There's a white line that extends right down. If you look at the first base dugout, and just extend a line right down there to the green wall behind the bullpen. That ball went into that area, so it's dead, and Schlepper scores. You get 1 base out of that on the thrown away pickoff. Austin Reese moves up to second base. Error on the pitcher. Toll pitched at University High in Greeley. He's going to get a visit from Kyler Adams, his catcher. Strike called, but Adams wanted to touch up something about the linkage between pitcher and catcher. For Joshua Grenzenbach, that was his 5th start of the year tonight. 5 starts on the year, 6th appearance on the mound. He had pitched 16 2/3 before tonight. He goes 4 innings. There's a hit by pitch. Stahl with an 0-1 count is squared up. Had no way out there, and he's going to have to slow it down and work that one off a little bit. Second appearance for the trainer tonight. Starter on the mound for the Miracles was Sean Eierman. He went 3.5 batters in the top of the first and came off with some kind of a pitching arm concern. Now trainer round number 2 with Maddox Stahl. Hit by pitch. That one got him. Might have been right above the hip on his left side, his side closer to the pitcher. Might have gotten up into the just below the rib cage situation. Swinging strike to Louis De La Cueva. he swings on one that's down and in, and Louis was shaking his head no as he finished the swing. Didn't like his selection there. Good pitch, down and in. Oh-2 pitch, nobody out, and that one hit the catcher De La Cueva, who's the batter at the moment. Louis back-to-back HBPs, 1 run in, and the base is juiced for the Miracles. Help me out now, friendly viewer. You can follow along on your screen at home. Watch the growth of Lake Dugout. It's now stretching out more than halfway toward the grass line out there down on the third base side. The corner of the leaning rail for the Prospectors dugout on the third base side. I talked about it a moment ago with the raindrops dancing in there, and it was half that size. So the replenishing of the natural resources over there as Lake Dugout refills. Such a great time of year every year when the Lake Dugout comes back to life. The loons, Norman. That tapper to third, and the try to make the pick and throw to the plate by Toger. That's going to be a base hit. Toger on the run, trying to make a snag and some kind of play on a little tapper. It's an infield hit, an RBI for Nicholas Brainerd on a maybe an 18-foot tapper out to the third base side in front of the plate. Miracles take it. Another run on the board. Brainerd has his second hit, and Mason Aaron reports into the right side batter's box with Jeremiah Lucero on deck. And the trouble still in full effect here for the Prospectors. With 2 in, nobody out, bases full, ball 1 to Mason Aaron, the second baseman. Fouled off. Viewer poll, it could be Lake Dugout or Dugout Lake. These are the important things. I like Lake Dugout. I like the shape of that, by the way. The loons, Norman. I'm really disappointed for anybody who does know that line. Shame on you if you know what I'm referring to. But if you don't know what the loons, Norman, delivered by Katharine Hepburn, the loons, Norman. Go ahead and Google that. See what comes up. I bet it. Well, it's suitable for work. It'd be all right. Kids can see the answer. Henry Fonda, Jane Fonda, Katharine Hepburn. Some kid who I wish I knew the name because it would make me look really cool if I could just bust out that actor's name. I can't. 2-2, the count to Mason Aaron. 13-6. Now live on the Front Range Baseball Network, Foxes and Pioneers from Gehring, Nebraska. So you have the option to bounce around, check out a couple different venues in the Front Range League. This ball, the right side, that's a little one-hop shot that the throw gets into the back of the runner and nobody's out and 2-run score. Braden Thompson picked up the one-hop spinner and decided to turn and go to second to get the force in the middle of the diamond. His throw bounces off of Nicholas Brainerd, who's safe at second. Mason Aaron on a fielder's choice has an RBI. There's an error in there on the backside of the throw. Have to be charged to Thompson. And Stahl scores. De La Cueva scores. 4 runs in for the Miracles. They're 1 run from matching the 5 spot that NoCo got in the top of this frame, and they're back within 5, and they've still got all kinds of opportunity here offensively. Jeremiah Lucero is the number 8 batter. He's 0 for 1 with a sac fly, RBI in the 4th. He grounded out to short in the 2nd. And then Bryson Martinez, 0 for 2. He's got an E6 and a strikeout. Runner's going to take third pretty easily. Adams going to go to the backside runner, and he got him. Good decision by Kyler Adams. Nicholas Brainerd had a great jump at second. He stole third. Mason Aaron late reacting, just trying to trail the takeoff by Brainerd, and Kyler Adams behind the plate. That's a nice play by Adams as he fires to Dom Lefevre for a caught stealing on the backside caboose runner on that double steal. Big out for the Prospectors, and it takes a runner off the bases. Lucero looking at a 2-0 count. (13-8). Towels pitch is down and out, 3-0. Well, make it 4-0. That was, again, scoreboard had 2-0 there. So it's 4 balls. That pitch down and out. That's the name of my upcoming autobiography to be released soonish. This chopper to the left side and a fire to second in time for the out. Not sure why Jeremiah Lucero wasn't in extreme go mode and a slide into second. He's fielder's choiced out on a ball in the hole at shortstop. Brainerd scores on the play. Lucero out at second on a fielder's choice on a roller from Bryson Martinez, who gets an RBI. Bryson on at first. There's a one-hopper to Will Toger at third base, and he gloves that for the 5-4 out. Third baseman to second baseman stops a 5-run burst from the Miracles. That's even with the number scored by the Prospectors in the fifth. 10 runs split evenly between the teams in the fifth inning, and it's 13-9 as everybody comes out to check the batter's box area. Both coaches out there, umpires checking it out. Marcus Gilmore and John Byington, the coaching staff for the Miracles. Chris Nobbenshoe, head coach for the Prospectors, talking with Corey Monroe and Tim Dumas, umpire crew. It was Hunter Morgan's ground ball to third that ended with the fielder's choice, closing the fifth inning. 7-inning ball game. We're going to the sixth. And John Byington, the direction he's walking, it looks like he might be headed toward, I haven't seen the grounds crew. Looks like they're working over toward potentially going to find some dry material to get in the batter's boxes. Man, there goes Coach Byington down the right field line. I'm guessing he's going to go and poke around down there. Yeah, we got hands being shaken to the umpires. Yeah, there's Coach Byington, and I see a couple PM. There comes some grounds dudes, Colin and Jimmy, out of their break area. As Coach Byington, I'm probably going to ask for some assistance with drying up the batter's boxes. That was the main concern. I don't know how, I can't tell from up here what the surface is looking like, but when they started looking at the plate area, you can tell it's a little goopy there. Raindrops still falling, not heavy rain. And now they're all making their way back down the line. You can see on the right side of your screen the Brain Trust all heading in to evaluate the situation. They put a bag of drying agent on the mound earlier, and that was appreciated and definitely helped the situation. And we'll hang out here while we get the assessment, see what they're going to do with 5 innings in the books, 13-9 the score. Dax Vila, top of the order for the Prospectors. He's due up, so he's kind of towing it up in there. Both catchers are out there, Kyler Adams and Louis De La Cueva. And the head groundskeeper is Colin. He's got the black hoodie on. He walked in, took a couple of jab steps around the plate, turned and started walking. I think he's going to get some material, which is appreciated. And they're also checking out the first base area. And they'll go down to second, do your typical dirt evaluation. While that's in flow, keep the screen on, the camera shot going for you. And pause for a moment while the field assessment unfolds with a 13-9 score. And again, the Pioneers hosting the Foxes. It's Fort Collins Foxes at Western Nebraska Pioneers in Gering, Nebraska. They go live with first pitch in just a few minutes on the Front Range Baseball Network. That's happening now. Our only other venue in action tonight. 2 games scheduled here tonight at Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs, and 1 9-inning ball game between 2 of the front-running clubs in the Front Range League. Pop the standings on your screen for you. You can find these at frontRangeLeague.com. That's not them. At least I don't think so. That looks very unfamiliar. I can tell you what the standings are and where it sits with the Foxes and Pioneers. Foxes lead the Western Nebraska Pioneers by 4 games. They've got a 2-game set tonight and tomorrow, and that'll be important for the Pioneers trying to get a couple home wins over the Foxes, who were knocked off by Diamond Club this week. Boulder 64s in second place, just a game ahead of the Pioneers. 64s are idle tonight, and it's the Pioneers hosting the Foxes. That's the big marquee standings matchup going on tonight in Gering, Nebraska. Pueblo Spradley Collegians running in the 4th spot, 3.5 games ahead of the NoCo Prospectors. The Prospectors have a doubleheader at Spradley tomorrow, so they could do some damage on that game's back number. The Prospectors on the road in Pueblo at Runyon tomorrow. And we've got a little delay, field cleanup delay is the next step of action here, with the grounds crew and umpires disappearing down the right field line, probably working on some material. Rain still falling, drops coming down. Tarps haven't come out, so the expectation was some drying agent, although I don't know what the rain still doing what it's doing. I don't know if it's going to be tarps or curtains or drying agent. Keep an eye on your screen, and we'll see what plays out from Colorado Springs. 13-9 in the end of the 5th between NoCo Prospectors and El Paso County Baseball Miracles, as the players from the Miracles are delivering food. Tidings of goodwill down to the Prospectors dugout. Let's eat.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Can of Whoop. We all want to dominate. We all have those moments when we just can't find that next gear. When you can't find that next gear, try Can of Whoop. Pop the top and pour it on. Can of Whoop. Pop the top and pour it on.
That's a final score from Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. A final count tonight of 13-9. That'll go as the official score from Game 1. And Game 2 has been canceled. No game later tonight. Thanks to Colin, Jimmy, the grounds crew dudes. I handed off my donated sandwich that was given to me by the Prospectors to Jimmy. Take that home and enjoy it. And some Jersey Mikes, as we're selling naming rights to Lake Dugout over there. So far, Visine and Beef Jerky are the leading bidders. So tonight's Game 1 goes 5 innings, and it's 13-9. Prospectors take the win. 13-9, NoCo Prospectors. That game is official. I've already added that to the standings chart at frontRangeLeague.com. That's frontRangeLeague.com. Click standings to see current standing situation, and you can navigate to the schedule from there too, the game schedule. That standings and schedule board is hosted by Fort Collins Baseball Club. So when you go there, you'll jump off of the Front Range League website and wind up on a different looking page, but you're in the right place. And this game has been booked, entered, and added to the mathematics of the season, with the NoCo Prospectors getting the win 13-9 in 5 innings, 5 complete of a 7-inning ball game. It was Game 1 of 2 of a doubleheader, so a 7-inning Game 5 is an official game. And it's 13-9. Prospectors have the win over the Miracles. And again, no game behind this, and there's not a plan to reschedule that one. The Prospectors will be in Pueblo tomorrow at Runyon Sports Complex as they take on the Spradley Collegians in Front Range League action tomorrow. Other games tonight going on right now on the Front Range Baseball Network is Foxes at Pioneers. Good matchup at the top of the standings in the Front Range League. Foxes and Pioneers into that game about half an hour so far. And then tomorrow we'll have the doubleheader from Runyon starting at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. That's an afternoon start on a Friday, 1 p.m., followed by approximately 3 p.m., just something like 20 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. From Runyon in Pueblo, that's NoCo Prospectors and Spradley Collegians. The Grays and Diamond Club, if you saw a previous schedule, they were scheduled to play on Friday, but they turned that into a doubleheader on Saturday, so no game for Grays and Diamond Club on Friday, but 2 games on Saturday at 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock Mountain. And Foxes at Miracles here at Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs. That's a 6:35 p.m. Mountain Time start tomorrow night. I'll be here for Foxes and Miracles on the Front Range Baseball Network. And at the same time, 6:35 p.m. Mountain, it's Boulder 64s at the Western Nebraska Pioneers at Oregon Trail Park in Gering, Nebraska. Those are the games tomorrow. So the sites, Runyon and Pueblo for 2. Blocktickets Park in Colorado Springs for a 6:35 Mountain, and also the same time in Gering, Nebraska at Oregon Trail. That's action tomorrow on the Front Range Baseball Network. You can jump over now and check out Foxes and Pioneers on the Front Range Baseball Network. Final score in a game knocked down by rain and mucky field conditions, unplayable for tonight in the Springs. The Prospectors on the road pick up the win 13-9. 13-9 the final count from tonight's action. Thanks for being with us. I'm Thad Anderson. So long from Colorado Springs.